Even if you are a Trump supporter, you have to acknowledge that what we're looking at right now is absolutely insane. General Michael Flynn, Donald Trump's former national security advisor, and someone who still has an immense amount of influence in the MAGA world of politics, called for Donald Trump to declare martial law on social media the other day. On Elon Musk's platform, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Michael Flynn posted this. Many elites, both sides in the United States, still believe what is happening in America is old school hardball politics, Democrats versus Republicans. It is not. Donald Trump and his team must move rapidly to course correct America's direction, given the extreme danger the Biden administration left the nation in. It's just pure irony going right over Michael Flynn's head, but I digress, given the fact that Trump is the one putting America in danger. They are moving as fast as humanly possible, but everyone who is awake can see how many obstacles are being thrown in front of Trump's agenda to take care of America first in order to make America great again. Enough is enough. Donald Trump may eventually have to declare a national emergency. He has full authority to do so. Don't be surprised if the nation gets to that point. This is complete and total nonsense. Michael Flynn is just making things up. Look at this last sentence saying everyone who's awake can see how many obstacles are being thrown in the way of Donald Trump. His claim is that the quote unquote deep state and Trump's own administration is stopping Donald Trump from enacting his agenda. So apparently Donald Trump has appointed people who are against himself. Apparently, Michael Flynn is acknowledging that Donald Trump has terrible instincts when it comes to hiring people. But this part right here, the declaring a national emergency. Declaring a national emergency for what? Michael Flynn just wants Donald Trump to just do it, just to do it, so that he has expanded powers and he can rule over the United States with an iron fist. Michael Flynn is obviously openly acknowledging that he wants Donald Trump to be a king. He wants him to invoke a power that he does not have. A president can't just say, you know what? National emergency. I'm taking control of the wheel. We're going to do it as I say we should. It's utter nonsense, but we're already seeing the Trump administration embrace this kind of dictatorial tendencies, these dictatorial actions, and we saw it just the other day when the Trump administration ignored a court order. A federal judge said that the Trump administration at this moment in time could not use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to deport people. The judge ordered that the Trump administration turn the deportation planes around. If they were in the air, they have to come back to the United States. What was the Trump administration's response? They just said, no, we're not doing it. And they came up with some BS excuse. The Donald Trump's administration made a calculated decision to ignore a judge's directive to turn around two flights containing hundreds of alleged Venezuelan gang members. These gang members in question received no due process. They didn't have any opportunity to present their case. The verbal order from Chief Judge of the Washington, D.C. District Court, James Boasberg, explicitly told the government to turn around any aircraft that had already departed the country if it was still in the air, saying, you shall inform your clients of this immediately. Any plane containing these folks that is going to take off or is in the air needs to be returned to the United States. However, that's accomplished, turning around the plane or not embarking anyone on the plane. This is something that you need to make sure is complied with immediately. There's no mincing words there. We know exactly what the judge is ordering, and the Trump administration said, no. However, top lawyers and officials in the administration made the determination that since the flights were over international waters, Boasberg's order did not apply. The administration said the planes need to land because of, quote, operational and national security reasons. It was during the hearing that two planes took off, and they refused to bring those planes back. Just some random excuse of, oh, international waters, we don't have to comply with a federal judge saying, hey, you can't do this. And the Trump administration is now doubling down. They're saying, yeah, we know we ignored a court's order. We know that our argument is BS. But just tonight on Fox News, Pam Bondi, the attorney general, said, yeah, I think we're actually going to continue to do these flights regardless of the judge's orders. Just take a look at this clip.
This attorney general is that you've got a local district court judge now who is saying that he can stop the president from enforcing his powers under Article 2 to protect the American people. Number one, will his order, this temporary restraining order on the Alien Enemies Act, will that be, respected going forward? And where does he get this power to stop the president engaging in national security and foreign policy?
Well, that's it. He's attempting to meddle in national security and foreign affairs, and he can't do it. What he's done is an intrusion on the president's authority. This one federal judge, again, thinks he can control foreign policy for the entire country, and he cannot. And right now we're evaluating our options.
Okay, so the administration may continue doing these flights?
Absolutely. These are foreign terrorists. The president has identified them and designated them as such, and we will continue to follow the Alien Enemies Act.
This is so brain-numbingly stupid, and I really just have to put it in the most transparent way possible, that this justification that Pam Bondi is giving is just dumb, it's just wrong, and they know that. They're just giving any excuse to continue with what Donald Trump wants to do, to continue Donald Trump's reign of terror, to try to seize as much power as possible. They're coming up with these random excuses that, oh, this federal judge can't strike this down. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. These are judges who are appointed and are serving life terms. They have the authority to say, hey, this is unconstitutional. You can't do this. They have the authority to issue a stay saying, hey, let's review this first before you move forward with this action. That is the entire point of the judiciary in the United States, that they serve as a check. Do you see the argument that the Trump administration is making and the groundwork that they're laying? They're basically saying like, hey, if you're just a judge, a federal judge, we're not going to listen to you. You have to be this judge. And they'll keep moving the goalposts saying, actually, we just don't believe that judges have the authority to strike down what we're doing. And it's so incredibly concerning to me because MAGA will stand beside Donald Trump and just worship him. And when he's openly violating the Constitution, openly violating the rule of law, they won't bat an eye. Matter of fact, let me show you some things that just prove exactly what I'm saying. Just this week, a golden Mount Rushmore statue was unveiled at Mar-a-Lago. It includes obviously presidents who are already on Mount Rushmore. You see George Washington, Teddy Roosevelt, Lincoln, and whatnot. Except Donald Trump has been added to Mount Rushmore. Unveiled at Mar-a-Lago. They're willing to paint Donald Trump gold, throw him on Mount Rushmore in the midst of constitutional crisis. That's what's so frustrating, that so many millions of people who are worshiping Donald Trump are willing to overlook him just tearing up the Constitution, the same document that they proclaim to care so much about. And instead of holding him accountable, saying, hey, I agree with Trump on policy, but this is wrong, they decide to just slam his face on Mount Rushmore. And it's not like the elected Republicans are doing any better. I mean, my God, look at Mike Johnson. He's spray painting his face to be orange like Donald Trump. Look at the spray tan he has on. This side by side is stunning. He is trying to look like Donald Trump. Dr. Oz has a spray tan now, is dyeing his hair orange just so he can look like Donald Trump. This is what they did in Italy. People would shave their heads so that they can look like Mussolini and look more like the dictator to please him. Now you have people like Mike Johnson who bend the knee to Donald Trump, people like Dr. Oz who bend the knee to Donald Trump, and many other examples of them trying to copy his look. It is so concerning, and we are such in a bad place in the United States where we have prominent figures in the Republican Party calling for martial law, prominent figures at the Department of Justice saying, yeah, we know we're violating the law, we're going to continue to do it anyway. And the followers of this guy, of Donald Trump, will not bat an eye. They will make gold statues of him, they'll get spray tans and dye their hair orange just so that they can look like Donald Trump. It is so insane. We are in such a crazy moment in American history. So look, I just had to bring this story to your attention, the fact that Michael Flynn is calling for martial law here in the United States. I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. It really helps. Make sure to drop a like and comment. Let me know what you think about this story and what Michael Flynn said. And of course, I appreciate you very much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.